How could you be so selfish? My father roared. His face flushed as he stormed across the living room of our Bear Lake vacation home. Your sister needs that money for her business. You've got plenty already. I froze, stunned. The property tax bill still crumpled in my hand. What was meant to be a casual Sunday dinner had turned into an ambush, an interrogation about why I wasn't pulling my weight. My name is Louise Walsh. I'm 33, a self-taught day trader who built everything I have through relentless study and risk-taking. I wasn't handed money, I earned it. For 5 years, I've quietly carried the financial weight of this family, the property taxes on this house, Megan's car payments, Mom's medical bills, even the family vacations. I never complained. I thought I was giving back. Dad, I've covered everything for years, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. The taxes, Mom's surgery, Megan's trips. I've never asked for anything, but I can't keep doing this. My mother sat silently on the couch, eyes fixed on her lap, avoiding mine. That silence cut deeper than Dad's shouting. We gave you everything, Dad shot back. Now when we need you, you're abandoning us, while your sister's trying to build a future. That's when I saw it, an envelope on the coffee table, half hidden under a magazine. One bold word caught my eye, trust fund, and beneath it, Megan Walsh. My stomach dropped, I reached for it. Louise, that's private, Dad barked, but too late. The truth leapt off the page, a substantial trust, set up exclusively for my sister, $350,000 already secured, with more to come. The same man who told me there was no money for college tuition. The same man who expected me to bankroll their lifestyle while secretly setting Megan up for life. When were you going to tell me? I whispered, and suddenly, everything, every slight, every excuse, made sense. Dad snatched the papers back, but the damage was done. Clearly, I said, my voice flat, so that's why you never helped with my student loans. Growing up, the pattern had always been there, Megan's dance lessons while I got lectures about focus. She was handed a car at 16. I saved bus fares until I could afford a beat-up Honda. She went to a private university with family support. I scraped through with scholarships and 30-hour work weeks. I'd convinced myself the circumstances were different back then, but the truth was simple, they valued Megan more. Sweetheart, Mom finally spoke, her tone soft but manipulative. Megan just needs more help than you. You've always been so capable. We're proud of how independent you are. The logic twisted like a knife, punished for success, while Megan was rewarded for dependence. All those times I asked for help, I said quietly, when I was exhausted in college, when my car broke down, when I needed rent money, you said you couldn't afford it, but the money was there, just not for me. Dad shifted, uncomfortable. Investment decisions aren't simple. We had to think about the future. Not my future, I replied. The final blow came when he slid the tax bill across the table. The HOA raised their fees again. We'll need you to cover this. I stared at him, disbelief giving way to something harder. I'd been used. That ended today. I'll take care of it, I said evenly, picking up the bill. Relief flickered across his face. He didn't see the resolve in mine. Back in my Salt Lake City apartment, the snow-capped mountains outside felt like silent witnesses to my humiliation. I pulled up a folder I'd kept for years, financial contributions, family. Line by line, the spreadsheet detailed my sacrifices. Property taxes, $43,500. Megan's car, $11,680. Roof repairs, $12,000. Mom's surgery, $8,200. Gifted vacations, $22,400. Total, $97,780. Nearly $100,000, while my parents secretly built a nest egg for Megan. My phone buzzed. A text from Megan. Dad says you're being difficult about the taxes. Don't be selfish, Louise. I laughed bitterly. Of course she didn't understand. Why would she? She'd always been the chosen one. Another ping, Dad this time. We're counting on you. Don't let us down. No thanks, no acknowledgement, just expectation. The next morning, I sat across from Joseph Klein, my financial advisor. His eyes widened as he scanned my spreadsheet. You've never asked for repayment? He asked. They're family, I said simply. He set down his glasses and met my eyes. Louise, your generosity is admirable, but this isn't healthy, for them or for you. You've been enabling them at the cost of your own future. And for the first time, I believed him. I know that now, I told Joseph quietly. I just found out they set up a substantial trust fund for my sister, while letting me cover nearly every family expense. His expression hardened. That changes everything. For the next 2 hours, we mapped out a strategy. I'd need airtight documentation, notarized statements, receipts, a complete accounting of every dollar I'd contributed. Joseph referred me to a colleague, Victor Hernandez, a forensic accountant who specialized in family financial disputes. Are you sure you want to go down this path? Joseph asked as I gathered my things. Money tears families apart. It could get ugly. I thought of the trust fund, of Dad sliding the tax bill across the table as if it were nothing, of years of we can't afford it while Megan got everything. I'm sure, I said, steadier than I'd felt in days. It's time they saw the truth, and what happens when I stop paying. Walking out of his office, I felt something I hadn't in years when it came to my family, power. 1 week later, I sat across from Victor Hernandez in his paper-stacked office. He flipped through my meticulously organized records, bank transfers, receipts, digital logs. Your documentation is unusually thorough, he said with a faint smile. Most people don't track things this well. My job depends on it, I replied. He slid a finalized report toward me. The total is worse than you thought, $118,745. I blinked. That's higher than my calculation. The extra $14,915 comes from lost investment growth, Victor explained. Conservative estimates. Based on your portfolio, that's what you sacrificed by diverting funds to your family. The number hit like a punch. Hard proof of betrayal, undeniable, cold, final. What's the next step? I asked. That depends. We could pursue legal action, though family cases without written agreements are messy, or we compile this into a financial statement for your records, or leverage. The second option, I decided, for now. As he prepared the documents, my phone lit up with familiar pressure. Dad, haven't received the tax payment yet. Due soon. Megan, Dad says you're being difficult. After all they've done for you. Really, Louise? I turned the phone face down and let it buzz. 3 days later, Victor delivered a notarized financial statement, every contribution listed by date, purpose, and recipient. It included Joseph's signed verification of the lost investment analysis. That evening, Mom called. Louise, your father is worried about the property tax payment. She began carefully. It's due next week. I know the date, I said. Well, will you be handling it? You've always been so reliable. Her casual assumption lit a fuse. 5 years of payments without thanks. 5 years of financing their lives while they funneled money to Megan. Not this time, I said. A pause. What do you mean? I mean I'm done. No more property taxes. No more family expenses. But, we're counting on you. That money is already allocated to Megan's trust fund? I cut in. Silence stretched. Finally, her voice softened. Your father told me you saw that. You have to understand. I do understand, I said evenly. I've contributed nearly $120,000 in 5 years while you told me you had nothing for my education or housing. You built Megan's future on my back. That's not fair. No, I agreed. It isn't. And it's over. I ended the call. The next morning, I took action. Cancelled Megan's automatic car payments. Removed myself from every family-linked account. Transferred $120,000 into a new fund labeled My Future. For the first time in years, the weight lifted. The fallout was immediate. By noon, my phone buzzed nonstop. Megan called 7 times, then texted furiously. What the hell, Louise? The bank says my car payment bounced. Are you trying to ruin my credit? Dad is furious. Fix this now. Dad's messages were blunter. Call me immediately. This is unacceptable. You can't just abandon your responsibilities to this family. I ignored them and focused on the markets. My trades needed attention. Their outrage could wait. When I finally checked voicemail, Mom's voice cracked with desperation. Louise, please, your father is beside himself. The tax notice came with a late fee. Megan can't make her car payment. We don't understand why you're doing this. Whatever's upset you, we can talk. Please call back. No mention of the trust fund. No acknowledgement of my years of sacrifice. Just the same old demands. I was drafting a measured reply when the intercom buzzed. Ms. Walsh, the security guard said. Your father is here. He insists on seeing you. My stomach clenched. Tell him I'm not available. He says he won't leave until you come down. Then call the police if he refuses, I replied. Understood. 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed again, a text from an unfamiliar number. Thomas here, just saw Uncle Greg getting escorted out of your building by security. Are you okay? I hadn't spoken to my cousin in months. I texted Thomas back, I'm fine, just a family financial disagreement. His reply came almost instantly, about time you stood up to them. The way they've treated you versus Megan has been wrong for years. I stared at the screen. I'd always assumed no one noticed the favoritism. His validation hit deeper than I expected. At 7 p.m., the doorbell rang. Megan stood there, arms folded, foot tapping. I opened the door but blocked the entrance. What do you want? What do I want? She shot back. I want to know why you're acting insane. My car payment bounced. Dad says you're refusing to pay the taxes on the lake house. Correct, I said evenly. Why, what's your problem? My problem, I said slowly, is that I poured nearly $120,000 into this family while Dad funneled $350,000 into a trust fund, for you. For a moment her face betrayed shock, then guilt, then defiance. That's different, she insisted. The trust is for my future, I need that. And I don't? You're the smart one, she said, as if that excused everything. You've got your fancy trading job, I'm still figuring things out. At 31, while I've been paying for your car and our family vacations. Her cheeks reddened. You never complained before. Because I didn't know I was being used. It's not that much money, she muttered. 350,000 is significant, I snapped. Her eyes widened. How do you? I saw the paperwork. A heavy silence, then, softening her tone, she reached for my arm. Look, Louise, I get that you're upset, but we're family. Dad says without your help, they could lose the lake house. I stepped back. That's not my problem anymore. You'd let them lose the home we grew up in? You're heartless. I looked at her, really looked. Entitlement clung to her like a second skin. She couldn't even imagine a world where I stopped paying. They have options, I said. Maybe they can use your trust fund. Her expression hardened. That's not fair. I gave a small, sad smile. No, Megan, nothing about this has been fair. I shut the door. 2 weeks later, the tax deadline passed. Silence from me, panic from them. Joseph had already restructured my portfolio, and without the drain of family expenses, my accounts flourished. For the first time, I considered a vacation property of my own. Then an email arrived from Uncle Pete. Louise, what's happening? Greg asked me for a $10,000 loan to cover taxes. He says you've abandoned the family. This doesn't sound like you. A bitter laugh escaped me. Rather than dip into Megan's trust, Dad was canvassing relatives. I replied with receipts, literally, a PDF of my contributions, plus a note about the trust fund. His response came fast. Holy hell, none of us knew. Greg always said he was helping both of you equally. This changes everything. The next day, Thomas called. There's a family meeting this weekend at your parents', he said urgently. Uncle Greg called it to paint you as abandoning the family. He's trying to guilt everyone into backing him, and covering late fees too. The audacity, I muttered. You need to be there, Thomas pressed. I'll back you. My stomach twisted, but I agreed. Saturday, I wore my black pantsuit, the one I saved for negotiations. My briefcase held every notarized document Victor had prepared. The room fell silent when I entered. Dad stood by the fireplace mid-speech. Relatives filled the seats. Confusion etched on their faces. Megan and Mom sat on the sofa, both looking uneasy. Louise, Dad said smoothly, I'm glad you came. We were just discussing your refusal to support the family home. I set my briefcase down. Were you also discussing the $118,000 I've already contributed? Or the $350,000 trust fund you built for Megan while insisting you couldn't afford to help me? Gasps, murmurs. Aunt Catherine leaned forward. What trust fund? I let Dad answer. He didn't, so I handed out copies. I paid property taxes, car loans, medical bills, vacations. Meanwhile, my parents secured Megan's future and told me there was nothing for mine. The room erupted. Faces turned from confusion to anger, at my father. These are private matters, Dad thundered. Family matters, Uncle Pete cut in, and family means fairness. For the first time, I saw fear in Dad's eyes. His narrative was collapsing. The meeting ended with him storming out. Mom followed. Megan sat frozen, shame written across her face, but my aunts and uncles stayed, digesting the evidence. If you've covered that much, Uncle Paul said, you deserve an ownership stake in the house. I don't want the house, I said quietly, I just wanted the truth seen. Thomas squeezed my shoulder, truth is only the start, there should be consequences. 3 days later, Dad texted, the property taxes are due. The arrogance was staggering. That night, Mom called, your father isn't coping, the lake house means everything to him. More than treating his daughters equally? Her silence said enough. The next morning, I texted Dad a photo of Victor's notarized report, the $118,745 total circled in red, no caption. An hour later, my phone rang. Megan. Louise, is it really that much? Her voice trembled. Yes, every penny documented. She paused. Dad told me you were just helping here and there. I didn't know. I feel awful. It wasn't your fault entirely, I said, but you benefited. I did, and I never questioned it. Her tone hardened with resolve. I'm going to fix this. The next day, legal documents arrived. The property taxes were paid, and ownership of the lake house was amended. I now held a 25% stake. Megan had insisted on using her trust fund to cover it all. A terse text from Dad followed, this wasn't necessary. Family helps family. I ignored it. He still didn't understand. But Mom did. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. I should have done the same years ago, she texted later. That evening, Megan called again. I told Dad to split the trust fund equally. He fought me, but Uncle Pete and Aunt Catherine backed me. He's meeting his advisor tomorrow. I closed my eyes, the weight lifting, not from money, but from acknowledgement, from fairness. Thank you, Megan, I said softly. No, she replied, thank you for finally making us face the truth.